When we were first married, Brenda owned a restaurant, and I came to work for her at the restaurant, and we've been pretty much together ever since. We've always liked being close to each other. We're one of those couples that can be around each other 24/7 and not be bothered by it.
It's just amazing how well it works out with both of us, just being so attuned to what we're doing. He does carving. He carves ducks mainly, birds, fish, and he kind of happened upon it. He was just kind of playing with it, and then he realized that he was really talented at it and really good at it and really loved it. And so he does his carving. The workshop, I have 3/4 of it, but he has a little corner of it, and he carves all day. We spend all day out here. He carves and I quilt, and it's just so great to be doing something that we love and to have the person you love right next to you.
I carved some decoys to hunt over originally. That was my first project in carving. And it got me kind of interested in it, and I went from there and grew. And then I got involved in making the floating decorative ducks. And that's when I fell in love with carving. I love doing that. And I carve duck calls in the shape of a duck's head. And I also make little wine bottle stoppers with ducks' heads on them. Then I've got kind of a blocky piece of wood that I start rounding out and get the shape from that. And then I smooth it down. Then I lay on my feathers. I draw my feather patterns on the duck. And I take a tool and rough out each feather. And then I go in and round off each feather. Then I texture it from there. I use with a wood burner. And each little barbule on the feather is wood burned in on them. Then I seal them up and paint them. Carving is something that I find is the most stress-relieving thing I've ever done, because I get so involved in it that everything just disappears. I've had multitudes of people come up to me and say, I couldn't do that. I wouldn't have the patience. But I get myself lost in it, so to me it's not really something that I have to concentrate on being patient with. I love youngsters to come and look at my product and maybe spark something in them so that someday they might be a carver, because it's something that I love to do, and I like hopefully to get other people interested in it. If it weren't for Brenda, I wouldn't be able to carve like I do now. She supported me the whole time. She bought books for me, and she'd say, surprise, and hand me a new book and things like that. She's been so supportive. In her own right, Brenda is an artist. She doesn't consider herself an artist, but quilting is an art. And when I told her that, and I said, you're an artist, and she said, no, I'm not. You know, I said, yes, you are. She is that good of a quilter, and I'm so proud of her. She quilts for magazines, she quilts for individual people, she does other ladies' tops, and hardest working person I've ever seen. She'll beat me hands down. She runs rings around me when it comes to working.
Well, I'm a traditional quilter. There are a lot of contemporary quilters out there who do more abstract kind of things. I do traditional designs. I'll use like batiks or really modern, bright, contemporary fabrics or colors, but the basic design is based on traditional blocks, usually. I also do a lot of memory quilts, a lot of theme quilts, but I'm definitely a traditional quilter. I like traditional colors and that kind of thing. I machine quilt. I don't hand quilt, and I have a quilt machine. It's specifically for quilting quilts. and load it on the machine. The backing, the batting, and the fabric, 3 different steps, and then quilt it. And then after you quilt it, you bind it, and a lot of people, I put labels on them usually and that kind of thing, finish up work. And it takes a little bit of time, even with the machine, to quilt it. It's hard to find a really good hand quilter. It's a dying art. There seems to be a story behind just about every quilt I do for someone. It could be a gift for someone who that's their passion, like cars or motorcycles, baseball. It's just wonderful to find out what is someone else's passion and to be able to translate that into something that I love to do so much. And people are so appreciative of what you end up with. And that fuels me too. So it's just astounding the way quilts touch people. They either know someone who quilted and they have memories of their mother or grandmother. It's just an amazing art form, I think. It feeds me. It feeds my soul. It's a creative outlet. It's something I can just get lost in, the challenge of it. But art, I think working artists, they're not in it to make a lot of money, or if you do go in it, you learn fast that you're not going to do it. If you can make a living doing what you love, it's not work. It's your life. It's just the best of both worlds. I mean, it's not like I have to go out to a job that I just tolerate to be able to come and do this. I go to work to do what I love. It just, I can't imagine not doing it. And I feel like that everyone has something that will make them passionate about it. A lot of people don't even try to find what that is. And the people who find it are the luckiest people. And I think we found that sweet spot. We found a way to make a living doing what we love. And you can't ask for more.